Hello, this is attempt number 50 bajillion thousand of trying to vlog. I don't know how to do this anymore. I don't know what's interesting and I think it all sucks, but we're gonna push through. I went shopping on Amazon for some stuff that I want to get for my balcony. Right now I have a balcony and like the outside portion of it is like glass basically, and so I don't like that you can see into, like, anytime I have the window open or the shades pulled, you can, or even if I'm just sitting on the balcony, you can see into it. I don't like that, so I'm trying to get this like faux leaf privacy screen thing happening out there. They're actually pretty expensive, but it's fine. I really want that, and I especially really want it for the summertime when I would be out there the most. So I was shopping for that this morning and just kind of trying to find one I think would work. There's so many out there and they all kind of range in price, so I'm just trying to read as many reviews as I can on a bunch of different ones and see which one I like. But that's pretty much all I've done this morning. I'm currently in the middle of From Blood and Ash. This is, I guess, my introduction back into JLA books. I've read a lot of her romance books. I read her Lux series, and I also read her Half-Blood series that I really enjoyed. I did read her like White Hot Kiss series, but never finished it because she did the thing that I hate when authors do, where she basically let fans of the book pick who the character ended up with in the last book, and it seems like such a small thing now when I say it out loud, but I don't know. I think it really just kind of soured my taste towards her books, because if I just wanted to read like fan service type books, I would just read fan fiction. I'm 150 pages in so far, and I'm bored. I'm struggling. I'm like, it's so hard to describe how I'm feeling right now about this, because while I am confused, it's a high fantasy world, so there's a lot happening and it does get very info dumpy in the beginning, but like, that's not the reason why I'm bored. I feel like I'm just bored because it takes a while for things to happen or to like kick off, and yeah, so currently I'm bored, but things did just happen where I left off, so I anticipate I won't be bored for that much longer. I hope. That's my update. It's Wednesday, I think I said. I'm gonna figure out what I want to read now, and then I might straighten my hair. I just straightened the front pieces because when I'm at work, I have to have my hair in a ponytail and like, or a bun, and I've lately been getting so annoyed because I have the tiniest like baby hairs that just like to stick out because I'm just running around in, you know, humidity and sweat and whatnot. And they just flip up, and I'm so done with them. I'm just having a time with my hair where I'm so done with what it's doing that I've just been resorting to straightening it, which is bad. It breaks my streak of not putting any heat tools on my hair, but I'm reaching my limit. I do work tomorrow, but I have kind of a shortish day, and then I'm off for the next 2 days. That's like my weekend. So we'll see what we get up to in these next couple of days. I'm hoping the weather gets better. And not that it's been terrible, but it's just been like overcast and gloomy. And I kind of just want the sun to be out because I want to go down to the lake. I want to go to the lake. I want to bask in the sun and feel that lake breeze. That's what I want to do. Anyways, I've rambled long enough, so I'm just gonna go do stuff. Hello, different day, different angle, or is it? I've done more reading in this. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not having a good time. So maybe because this is her first like high fantasy book, I'm not having a good time. I expect it to be info dumpy, so that part doesn't really bother me. I just think it takes too long to get things moving. I am 235 pages in, and not much has really happened. I'm bored with pretty much all the characters right now, but we're at the part where like these creatures are being introduced. This fallen kingdom is, I guess, not so fallen anymore, and that's not a spoiler. It kind of tells you in the back, but I'm just at that part where this is being introduced to the main character, and I don't know, I just feel like it took us a long time to get there, and I'm confused. Like, they don't seem frightening to me. That sounds terrible, but it's just like these weird vampire-esque type creatures, and I don't know, it's throwing me off because I don't feel like they're high fantasy type creatures. Again, maybe I have to actually read more and see the main character Poppy interact with them, and then maybe I'll be a little bit more like frightened by this creature, but at the moment I'm not, because I still don't really understand what this ascension thing is that is constantly talked about in this book, because I don't really know what it is yet, or what it means, or what it entails, or what it does. I'm not understanding why Poppy is so against it. I know that there are people in this book that she has talked to or has had relationships with that are ascended, and they don't seem very nice. So I guess the ascension just makes you a dick. That's all I know about it so far. There's something going on with the Duke, and not in a good way, and this is the part I think that's throwing me off the most, and it's really making me not like this book, because I don't know, I don't like to read. I feel like I've gotten past this point of I don't need to read a man violating a woman in a book. I don't like to read things like that. And when it does happen, I'm constantly looking for reasons to kind of back up why it's in there. And if I can't find those reasons, I like immediately don't like the book because I don't see why it's in there. And I feel like that's the case with this. It's not like a type of, it's not really a sexual violation, but it is a violation of the body. And I mean, there is someone there that gets pleasure from watching, and that just like, it just really puts a sour taste in my mouth for the book. And I don't think that was the intention. I'm sure the author put it in there so you go, hey, these guys, they're awful. But I feel like there's other ways we could do that than by making our main character, who's a female, go through this kind of violation. High fantasy likes to do that. I don't like to read that. That's maybe why I've steered away from high fantasy for so long. But I don't like it in this book. So I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to skim because it's just a lot of Poppy walking around places, observing things, looking at things, and then vaguely mentioning something about world building but not really explaining what its significance is. And yeah, I'm having a great brow day. I just have to point that out. Like, it needs to be out there in the universe. Reading plans for the weekend, writing plans for the weekend. Howdy, y'all. So, it's time. The day has finally come. I have finished this book, and now we're going to talk about it. I said that I was not enjoying my time, and that pretty much stayed consistent throughout the book. I would say it got better around page 400-ish. Oh, Jesus, cat. You asshole. He scared me. Great content. So it does get better around page 400, but then I felt almost immediately after the incident that happens around page 400, it lulls again, and then it's not as exciting anymore. And then the plot twist that happens towards the end, because it's almost really obvious that that's going to happen, and it was almost to the point where it was too obvious that I hoped it wouldn't go down that route, but it did. And I have mixed feelings about it. I didn't 100% hate it. It didn't turn me off to the book, completely. But I also just felt like it was a little cheap. It just felt too easy almost to do that. And I had hoped that this author, having written so many books now, would know not to do that, or would be a little more inventive about what they would do with the plot twist. I just didn't feel the chemistry between the two main characters here, so between Poppy and Hawk. I was not feeling it. There was this, besides the lack of chemistry that I felt, and I think maybe that translated into whenever they got intimate, it was just a little weird, because I felt like there were a lot of instances where she was like, I don't like this, and then he would do it because he's like, no, I know you like this. And I was just a little iffy about it. I didn't really like that all too much. I didn't like Poppy as a main character. She just was completely flat as a character. Her only personality trait is that she's good at fighting, that she was trained by her mentor, well, not mentor, but one of her personal guards, who's essentially a mentor character in the book. He trains her on how to fight, how to use a dagger, and all this stuff, and that's basically all that's her only personality trait. I don't know, it was just weird. I kept being told what kind of person she was, that she was kind, that she was selfless, that she was courageous, and I didn't really see any of those attributes in her. She just kind of did as she was told, pretty much most of the time, and whenever she didn't do what she was told, it was just her using her dagger, and again, reiterating my point that her only personality trait is how she can fight. Overall, I ended up giving this a 2 out of 5 stars. And I do think I'm going to pick up the second book, mainly because I'm interested to see what role Hawk, one of the main characters, what his role is going to be in the second book. Just because of what you find out at the end of this, I think you can get a sense that things are shifting, the dynamics are going to be shifting, and I'm curious to see what Jennifer L. Armentrout does with that. But I'm keeping my expectations pretty low. And so if you're watching this and you haven't read this book and you're kind of questioning, okay, well, do I want to pick it up? There's a lot of people who say they love it. I can see why people love it. There's, the steamy scenes are steamy. It's high fantasy.
I don't know why people like this. Or if you have read it and you love it, I'm so glad. I went into this wanting to love it and I didn't, which is unfortunate. And I'm still gonna read the second book. Something's wrong with me. But if you were to ask my honest opinion, if you haven't read this yet, I would say don't. Besides what I've already said, there's nothing new in this that we haven't already seen. And I think there are other authors out there that do it better. There's no chemistry between the two main characters, and all of the characters in this are annoying, to be quite honest with you. And it's just such a long book for not a lot happening on the page. For about half of this book, maybe a little more than half, you're in one location all the time. And like I said, it takes 400 pages for something to actually happen, and then it gets boring again. And then maybe like at page 500 something, it actually gets better again. So I just feel like for the amount of pages there are in this book and the amount of time you're going to invest in it, it's not really equal. You're not getting a good book out of it. So my personal opinion would be, don't waste your time. Pick up something else, something better. And yeah, that's all I've got for you. That's a lot if the only reason I'm giving it 2 stars was because of the smut. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Leave my socials down below. You can come follow me. Talk to me on Twitter. That's where I'm the most active. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys later.